Divorce and custody. Are you afraid to call a lawyer? I was. Years ago, when I had a problem, I needed a lawyer. But I didn't know whether to call an attorney, and more importantly, I was afraid to. Why? Because I didn't know how it worked. I had always heard that lawyers were expensive, very expensive. I was a poor military officer at the time, and the thought of having to pay a large amount of money to get a solution to my problem was paralyzing. The thought of having to pay whatever enormous sum of money an attorney would charge me just for picking up the phone was beyond my comprehension. I didn't know if lawyers had timers on their phones and if there was some way for them to know who was calling and then automatically sending a bill. I didn't know if the charges started when I picked up the phone on my end or when they picked it up on their end. I didn't know, and I was terrified. Luckily, I remembered that I had a friend attending law school. I asked him if I was allowed to call a lawyer, and if so, how it worked. He explained that they would not charge me in any way that I had feared, and that I needed to call to see if they could help me. He explained that lawyers did not charge when a potential client called just to ask if the situation was one they could help with. And that's important to know. Lawyers are in business to help people. They want you to call their office to ask if they can help you. Yes, they may charge a fee once you come in and talk about the issue, since doing so in any meaningful way will probably take an hour or so. Still, if you leave the office understanding the law, understanding your options, and with a plan of attack, the money is likely well spent. Meaningful consultations about a problem with an attorney are unlike doctor's visits. Going to a doctor may involve them looking in your mouth, listening to your heart, and asking a few questions. From there, the doctor may write on a piece of paper that you have the flu and that you need a particular medicine. Then they usually tell you thank you and leave. A lawyer writing you a prescription for a divorce or a child custody case is not very helpful. It doesn't do much to solve your problem. What is helpful is a complete and detailed discussion of your facts, an analysis of the law that applies to your case, and a discussion of your options. And you can't get all that without that first contact with the attorney's office. It turns out that you have no reason to fear. There is simply nothing to fear in contacting an attorney to see if they can help you. They welcome the call or email. I'm glad I made the call way back then. You will be too.